Okay, you're gonna want to get pen and paper. This is for you. I didn't want to dilly and dally. Raquel Rabbit Lux here. What's Lux is that we're gonna go by these commit names. The graphic hasn't been updated, but it will be. But we're gonna just take a brief moment because it's on my mind. And so I'm gonna share it with you. I appreciate you. So for right now, we're gonna focus on Isis, Osiris, Horus, and Hathor. Um, so Wajet Hub is governed by Horus, Apollonopolis. We're gonna get into the cities later in the circle. But you're more than welcome to call them by their Greek name for the purposes of the graphic and the illustration. I will list both the Greek name as well as its Egyptian name. I don't want to say equivalent, but for the purposes of Lux design code and this Lux map and how I will refer to it henceforth, unless it comes up and I just say Isis or whatever, I'm going to say the original Kemet name. Kemet, however you pronounce it, however it comes out my mouth in that moment, respectfully, is what it is in that moment. So it's going to be their original Kemet name. So Horus is Heru. So Wajet is governed by Heru. Tot is Tehudi or Dejudi, Tehudi, and we'll circle back to that. He's always in it, but just wanted to give that a brief moment because when you think about it, thought, we have thoughts. Thoughts run through our head, our minds. Thoughts run through our mind all day and all night. Thought, 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 thought. We'll come back to that. So ISIS and men for now will still be ISIS and men because the temples that are actually located in Coptos, I think say ISIS and men. They may say Aset, but then that means that I would also have to find out what men's original name is. And I will. We'll go through that at a later time. But right now, they'll still be called Isis and men. For the White Nile, Isis will be Aset. That is her original Kemet name. Kemet, 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 KMT, Kemet. So that is her original Kemet name, which is the original name for Egypt or the land of the blacks. Isis is Aset, governing over the White Nile. Traditional human design is the G hub or the self center. And then we're going to get into the city later in the circle. Um, we're gonna take it down to the Nile Valley with Osiris, Osar. Okay, so Asar rules over the Nile Valley, and then going up to Dendera, Hathor is Het Heru. And pausing to focus on Hathor Het Heru. The interesting thing about it is that with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, her even her name, his form is rooted in her name. So his name can stand alone, but for her, her name is rooted in his name. So Het Heru is the house of Horus or the house of Heru. That's who Het Heru is. She is her man. But Asar and Aset, same thing. Asar, Aset. There is, I mean, we can go into the et, and it's very cute, but they are about their men. Hence, Isis and men remain the same for the time being. We'll go to the jackal and we'll circle back to the great sex cat and things like that at a later time and Ra's Ra, right? Raya. But that was on my mind, and so I just want to share that little piece of nuggets as we move along and see then why are we talking about these now so that you can understand the definitions because then when we get into the Lux maps generated for you, procured specifically for you, and I'll use my own Lux map as an example, then you get to see a little bit more of the nuances. Then it becomes a little bit more real to you because then when you can see your own and where they are at to help you better understand, I'm going to explain human design to you from the perspective of how it comes through me through ancient Kemet. All right. And that is all.